Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad and Josh in the house. We were a three-man show for a little bit, but Pat got the sniffles, so he's out putting Christmas decorations up, getting ready for the holidays.
You gotta get that family time in.
You do.
It's very important. We're happy to be here, though.
Oh, we're happy. Pat will be back on Thursday to take his pie. We think he might be a little scared of the pie.
So there were 2 pie bets placed.
Yeah, I'm taking another pie as well because Deshaun Watson and the refs paid him off or something.
So my face will be the only pieless face.
Unless we make a bet right now that gets you pied.
What do you want to bet on?
Oh,
I got a little gambling itch here.
I know you do. Can't believe. So you're in first place in 3 leagues we play in together. And I said if you win 2 out of 3 of those, I'll take a pie. If you don't, you take a pie. But you won't take this bet.
I just want to win 1. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm doing very well. I'm having a good year. I'm very lucky. Because fantasy football is preparation, it's managing your team, and there's a lot of luck involved.
Oh, lucky.
I'm not arguing that.
No, it was me last year with Todd Gurley.
I completely agree. Like you, there has to be a lot of luck involved. And now I'm unlucky in the fact that 2 out of the 3 leagues that I'm in, I have Melvin Gordon, and he's down. Where you try to prepare for that, and the funny thing is that I was in the back of a lot of these drafts, and I used your model, which I give you credit for. I've always given you credit for that.
No, yeah.
And I've used your model to build my teams, and it worked out very well for me this year.
Yeah, because you have running backs to replace him. Maybe not the quality of a Melvin Gordon, but...
Well, he's a top 5 fantasy running back.
In one of those leagues, I know you have Aaron Jones, which
yes,
with him coming on strong really helps out a lot.
Yes, it does. But like in another league, I'm stuck with Lamar Miller. I have Lamar Miller, and my other fantasy running back is Philip Lindsay. So it's not going to be great in that league, but I might be able to squeak by.
Yeah, and it helps when you're in first place and you know you're locked in for this week. You don't have to worry about a win. Then you get a bye week, and then you come back, and maybe Melvin Gordon's back by then.
Yeah, those things really help. I mean, but it's a lot of preparation and so much luck. I mean, when I go back and I look at weeks, like I play Pat in 2 leagues. I play him on 3 of the leagues that we're in, and in 2 of them, I beat him by 0.1.
Yeah.
0.1. I mean, that's one of those things that just, it doesn't happen.
I'm still waiting for the stat correction to come out on those weeks.
It's not going to at this point. So there's so much luck involved in fantasy football. I'm not going to try and sit there and say that I'm some kind of crazy guru, but I used your model. I did a lot of prep, and this show and what we do on this show has helped me quite a bit. And I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh, just kidding.
No, I'm trying to be humble. I'm trying to be humble now.
Humble brag.
Humble brag. All right.
We're going to get into a little bit of news. There's a lot of news.
Yeah, let's break down this news, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of news on Monday and Tuesday.
There was a lot that happened.
So Jacksonville had 3 major things happen.
Let's hear them.
So first one happened late Monday, right? Leonard Fournette suspension.
Yeah, that was later Monday evening. Leonard Fournette got suspended for this week's upcoming game.
Yeah, for 1 game. Supposedly he's going to try to appeal. I don't think that's going to work out too well. He threw a punt.
He was throwing hands.
Yeah, but Leonard Fournette's going to be out this week. And then I would say Carlos Hyde or TJ Yeldon. Which one would you say is going to get the primary of the work? But it's going to be hard to determine that because they fired their offensive coordinator.
I like Hackett?
Yeah, Hackett.
Couldn't hack it.
He's out. And then Blake the Snake, they said they're going to bench him.
In this matchup, I really like TJ Yeldon more than Carlos Hyde. I think we've seen what Carlos Hyde's ceiling is in Jacksonville and in Cleveland this year, and it wasn't great. Without creative play callers, he's not a very effective running back. He didn't have Mike Shanahan this year to rely on. He didn't have Jim Harbaugh and his staff to rely on, so I'm not banking a lot on him, but TJ Yeldon, I like him, especially in PBR. I think that he can be a viable RB2 this week.
So they're going up against a Colts defense that has been underperforming a lot. And with Cody Kessler in there, I think maybe they do give Carlos Hyde the ball.
They're going to give
30
him
times if game script allows. If the defense can hold Andrew Luck down.
They're giving them the ball, but the problem is that Andrew Luck throws 3 TDs a game minimum. So I don't know what you're expecting out of this offense, Cody Kessler and Carlos Hyde, but it wouldn't be a lot. This team they're tilting. They're not having a good year.
No, but the offense coordinator thing really scares me because normally early in the year when Leonard Fournette was out, it was TJ Yeldon, right? That's the guy. It's going to be TJ Yeldon.
That's your boy.
But with the acquisition of Carlos Hyde and a new offense coordinator, it's going to be a timeshare, probably at best, even.
They're sharing all the time.
Sharing all the time.
Mm.
And then Lamar Jackson getting another start. Baltimore's kind of hedging their bets here, and they said Joe Flacco needs a week of practice before we can put him back in the game, which is coach speak for saying I'm riding the hot hand without saying I'm riding the hot hand.
We don't trust this guy anymore. I'm not trying to save my job, son. Lamar Jackson, great fantasy quarterback because he gets a lot of rushing yards. He didn't do it as much in the first half this past week. He did a little bit more in the second half, but not good for your wide receivers.
Crabtree, I think, is coming along fine. He had a couple good passes to John Brown, and one of them got called back for a holding call. I think he's not a terrible passer. And the defense has to play up. They can't just fall back like on Joe Flacco and say, well, Joe Flacco ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, no, they can't. The defense played really well last week.
I think he's starting to trust Crabtree because one of his interceptions was throwing double coverage to Crabtree
Old King
on a
Crab.
jump ball. So if he's going to target Crabtree like that, we've seen Crabtree with contested catch rate being pretty high.
Which is weird because he dropped a lot of passes.
Because he's not focusing on them.
Yeah, the ones that aren't contested, he'll drop them all day.
Yeah. And then Matt Hireman, right?
Yeah, he's on the IR.
Broken ribs, busted lung, DUN.
Yeah, that was tough because he was really starting to come along in the offense, but he's done for the season.
Are you going out to snag up that nice fancy Lacoste polo?
Polo and Lacoste. No, I'm not grabbing
a little gator shirt.
I'm not grabbing Lacoste. I think the most viable weapon in that offense now is Emmanuel Sanders. It was very clear that when the game was on the line, that's who Case Keenum wanted to go to. I think Emmanuel Sanders is the guy. He's the only guy in that offense that's worth starting as far as receivers and pass catchers go. Obviously, Phillip Lindsay's the man, but
okay, yeah. I mean, he's still a tight end with a heartbeat, so
doesn't mean anything to me.
And serviceable lungs.
Matt Lacoste. Sorry, bud.
All right. Rex Burkhead officially activated off the IR. We saw a good game from Sony Michel. Does this hurt his value?
I don't think it hurts Sony Michel. Sony Michel has carved out the role of the rushing back.
Hold on. But do you think it affects goal line carries? Because we saw Cordell Patterson get a goal line carry at the 2-yard line.
So I think Rex Burkhead was the guy last year who was very good at that. They did not have LeGarrette Blount. They decided to use Rex Burkhead in that role. Honestly, I think that's where it could affect him.
Because we lose those touchdown numbers with the lack of PPR option because James White's the PPR guy.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's where it's going to hurt him the most is in the red zone and at the goal line whenever you're supposed to be getting those carries to your guy. And Rex Burkhead could be that guy. But I don't know. I think this is a downgrade for almost everyone on the offense. Because Rex Burkhead is also a great pass catcher. So if you have him, it hurts Gronk. It hurts Julian Edelman. Chris Hogan, I don't care about. Josh Gordon, his role is kind of solidified. He's going to be the guy that gets you about 5 catches for 70 yards, 80 yards.
He gets to contest the deep balls. He could have a blow-up game.
He could.
Because they throw the ball deep to him. Granted, he's in double coverage usually with safety up top.
The person this hurts the most, I think, is James White. He's already been on the outs the past couple weeks. And now with Rex Burkhead coming back, man, I don't like James White, man. I think that maybe he's a flex play at best. But we never know with Bellatrix.
Yeah, they are playing Minnesota this week, who has a pretty good run defense, and they're probably going to chase some points. So I think this does kind of sign up to be a James White type of game.
That's what you think.
Exactly. And Bellatrix gets you every time.
Yeah,
Rex Burkhead gets 30 carries.
I think Sony Michel, his role, Josh Gordon's role, those roles are solidified, they're concrete, they are what they are. It's the Gronkowskis, the Julian Edelmans, and the James Whites of the world that I'm worried about.
Okay. And then it is Jeff Driscoll time down in Cincinnati.
Is it?
I mean, he's the starting quarterback there.
Is he? Oh, no.
Andy Dalton officially on the IR.
No.
With the thumb injury that we didn't know how bad it was going to be. Obviously, he is out for the year. Their season's over anyway. So my biggest thing with this, so they just put Andy Dalton on the IR. Do they not bring AJ Green back?
So this to me is going from cauliflower to Brussels sprouts. Two vegetables I absolutely hate. One I hate more than the other. I don't like either one of these. I didn't like Andy Dalton, and I certainly don't like Jeff Driscoll.
But you'll eat both of them if they're grounded in ranch or cheese, right?
No,
if you drizzle some cheese whiz all over them.
I hate Brussels sprouts so much.
But you drizzle that cheese
There's
whiz.
no way
You know what that cheese whiz is? That's AJ Green, Tyler Boyd.
AJ Green cannot save this.
Joe Mixon.
We already know what, and they have to play the Browns again.
Yeah, at Cleveland.
We already know what the Browns are going to do to this team.
Do we? I mean,
if I was Cincinnati, I'd say, AJ, sit out, bud. Take the rest of the year off. We're not winning anything this year.
I do worry about them not pushing him back.
You shouldn't. Heal that big toe, bud.
Yeah. But with that being said, Jeff Driscoll,
he's bad.
He didn't look terrible, and he does have wheels on him.
So I watched him in college at Florida.
Yeah,
he's a bad.
That was a bad offense in Florida. Let's get that straight.
No,
who was the coach down there? Who was the coach down there?
Oh my gosh,
he got fired.
I don't even remember who it was.
Exactly, he got fired.
But he
wasn't Urban Meyer.
It wasn't Urban Meyer. It was the guy after Urban Meyer. Jeff Driscoll's not a good quarterback. I don't care what the situation is. Jim McElwain.
I think that's what it was.
Jim McElwain. He was an Alabama descendant.
Which makes him terrible.
Yeah, well, Nick Saban.
Oh, I did last night during the Monday night game. I want to bring this up real quick. I realized why you love Deshaun Watson so much.
Because he beat Alabama.
Because he beat Alabama. Yeah. It clicked in my head. Like I was like, that's why he's always been on his nuts so much.
Well, I'm not riding his nuts, but I do. Look, he beat Bama, and I love him for that. He's a phenomenal quarterback. And even his coach, Dabo Swinney, in college said he's the Michael Jordan of the NFL. He will be. And I believe that. No, I believe it. Don't give me that little...
Okay. No, but getting back on it, Jeff Driscoll, does it hurt Tyler Boyd, help Tyler Boyd, nothing Tyler Boyd?
It can't hurt him any worse than it was. Tyler Boyd actually had a better game whenever Andy Dalton went out.
Exactly.
So it can't hurt him.
What about Joe Mixon?
Joe Driscoll has nothing. Jeff Driscoll has nothing to lose. Joe Mixon, I do think this hurts his value a little bit because what's your incentive to not stack the box now? You can throw 8 guys in the box. Jeff Driscoll, he's not talented enough to handle that. I mean, Andy Dalton.
Maybe they can run some option plays. You know what I'm saying? He got some wheels.
Maybe. I'm not buying it.
All right, moving on. Moving on to a position that matters, tight end, right? Jack Doyle on the IR. Eric Ebron, a top 5 tight end rest of the year?
Yes. But he's the tight end that can get you 20 points or nothing.
Yeah, but in every game he played without Jack Doyle had 7 targets, at least 7 targets. So, therefore...
But Mo Alley Cox wasn't playing last week either.
Oh, yeah, okay, Mo Alley. That's what I'm
he gets those teats. Get some teats.
All right, Marvin Jones.
Ugh.
IR.
Fire up Kenny Golladay.
He's the only one left.
TJ Jones is there.
Okay. He's the only one of the big 3 receivers that started the season left.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
Remember we talked about early in the season about how with all 3 of these receivers, how they're going to spread the wall around enough there's going to be a guy left out. Well, now there's only one guy left.
Kenny Golladay. He's going to be the man.
Is he a wide receiver 1 for you the rest of the year, though?
No, not quite. Obviously, he's going to draw all the attention. And Matt Stafford's not playing good football right now. I think he's a wide receiver 2 rest of the year.
With wide receiver 1 upside?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Because if he gets that touchdown...
Is he a safe wide receiver 2? You think he's going to get the targets in PPR at least to keep him?
He's getting over 10 targets a game without Marvin Jones. And I feel confident about that going forward. Because they have no one else to throw the ball to.
Okay.
You don't want to throw it to TJ Jones.
And then we alluded to this earlier. Melvin Gordon.
Oh, my gosh.
He came back. It is a grade 2 MCL sprain. He is out, the exact words, a few weeks.
Please come back in 2 weeks. Not this week or next week, but after that, please come back. I love you, bud. MG3, love you.
With him being out, Austin Eckler must start.
Yes, 100%. RB2 with RB1.
What about Justin Jackson?
I think he's
who looked good.
I think he's a stash. I don't think he's a starter.
Granted, the game was out of hand, and maybe they weren't wanting to run Austin Eckler.
But we saw what happened whenever Austin Eckler was the clear lead back. He's going to get used in passing downs a little bit, and the Chargers have a tough matchup this week. They're playing the Steelers, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing the Steelers, and it's a tough matchup. So I think that they're going to have to throw a little bit more, and I think Austin Eckler is going to be an RB1 this week. I'd bank money on that.
Joe Mixon or Austin Eckler this week.
Who are the Bengals playing?
I knew you were going to ask me. I knew I should hold that up.
I want to say the Bengals are playing the Broncos. They are. They're playing the Broncos, so Eckler. I like Eckler more.
Okay. What about Gus the Bus, baby, against Atlanta?
Eckler.
Ooh, because Atlanta's been bad.
Yeah, I don't care. Eckler.
Okay. We'll get into more of these on Thursday night. We talk about it.
When Pat gets pied in the face.
Yeah, buddy.
And you get pied in the face.
All right. You ready to... I think that's about it for the news. If there's anything we missed, we'll bring it up on the Thursday show. Monday Night Football.
Oh. Now, after Monday Night Football, we had a QB1. Not just a QB1, but the QB1.
And we also had a QB that only had one incompletion and threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Who was that?
Marcus Mariota.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He did.
22 for 23.
Dang, son. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wow.
He had himself a game, too. Like, that's the thing. I was like, he had a good game.
He did.
And he rushed for 28 yards, too. Like, he had a good game.
I thought you were talking about Philip Rivers when Philip Rivers played on Sunday.
Yeah. He got sacked 6 times for 43 yards. But he got no help in the run game.
A lot of those yards came in garbage time.
He was good. He had 13 straight completions.
Okay.
Like, he didn't look terrible. The defense did nothing to help him.
Yeah, they did nothing. But 23, I don't know, 23 attempts, he should have had more. Great game for D-Watt. D-Watt finishes the QB1 on the week, which you thought Brian Tannehill would have better numbers than him. I believe in my boy.
I know you do. Tennessee defense, I think, gave up. That 4th down play, they gave up after that 4th down play.
Yeah, and
they were done.
I do want to say this about Tennessee. I have the utmost respect for Matt LaFleur now. So I've watched football all the time over the past few years, and he's the only head coach that I see that goes out there continuously every time a player gets hurt and checks on him.
You're talking about Mike Vrabel, not Matt LaFleur.
Not Matt LaFleur, sorry, that was last year.
No, Matt LaFleur is the offensive coordinator, but he's up in the booth.
Yes, right. So Mike Vrabel, and that means the world to me, and I want to say that I truly appreciate that. However, doesn't make him a good coach. The Titans, they're doing what they can with what they have.
It was the play calling a little bit in this, so that's a little on Matt LaFleur. We'll see what happens next year. Give him another year. I mean, the Rams kind of skewed us all from what teams should do with new head coaches, new offense coordinators, right?
Well, Matt LaFleur came for the Rams.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The Rams have made us all like, oh my God, quarterbacks are going to be awesome with a new guy. Because remember Trubisky? He got Matt Nagy, and the first half of the year we were like, oh, Trubisky sucks. He's terrible. Bench him. And then he started blowing up, right? Well, it takes a little bit of time to get the offense down.
We thought the same thing about Goff.
Exactly.
Like,
and then
Goff
that San Francisco
was a bust, and he had that little noodle of an arm, and then he shows up and he balls out with Sean McVay.
But you usually got to give a quarterback about a year under an offense coordinator in a complicated offense.
Usually.
In a Jeff Fisher offense, a quarterback can get it down in a day.
Yeah, well, if you want to go 8-8, that's the way to do it. This was actually a fairly entertaining game for me, but also because I was rooting for Deshaun Watson, and I was rooting for my boy.
Huh? You want to bring up Lamar Miller? I know you keep loving Deshaun Watson.
No, I was going to say I was rooting for my boy Demaryius Thomas, who got 4 catches for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I still root for him, even though he's not for the Broncos anymore. I'm very happy for him.
He had under 40 yards, though.
Yeah, but he had 2 touchdowns.
He did. They were goal line. They were red zone targets.
Now, your boy, Lamar Miller.
Whew, buddy.
He only had 12 carries.
He's fast.
Blue.
You forget how fast he is.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get in space a lot.
Alfred Blue actually had more touches than Lamar Miller.
But Lamar Miller was tired.
Well, because he ran 97 yards.
At 20 miles an hour. They clocked him.
Which was his second 97 yard?
Yeah. And he's the only person in the last 10 years to do it.
Twice? Or just do it period?
Do it period.
Dang. Well, Juju had a 97-yard catch.
But, rush.
Yeah. He ran a long way.
Yeah, he did.
And it was a shotgun snap. He handed the ball off to him, and Lamar Miller.
It was literally right after that 4th down play. It was that 4th down play, the 97-yard run, and then the game was over.
Good job, Lamar Miller. 12 for 162 and a touchdown. 1 catch for 5 yards. It didn't really matter. You had a big boy game.
We're talking about Lamar Miller as your quintessential RB2 all year, right? Obviously, this game he was an RB1. Probably haven't done the math, but I'm pretty sure he's up in the RB1 range.
Yeah, he is.
the rest of the year, do you start Lamar Miller over David Johnson? Depending on matchups, obviously.
Yeah, David Johnson's matchup dependent. But depending
like
on...
not next week, it's Cleveland, but week 1 of the playoffs probably for you. They play the Colts.
Yes.
Lamar Miller over, I don't know, Deshaun, or David Johnson's.
Yes, which is tough, but David Johnson hasn't been a viable starter all year. He hasn't been consistent.
And that's crazy we're saying that, right?
But Lamar Miller, we talked about this before we got started on this season. He's not sexy. You don't like it.
In this game he was.
He was in this game, but he is an RB2. That's what he is. You drafted him as an RB2. He's playing like an RB2. That's what he does.
Because he'll get those games where he might only get 9 points, but you're not as upset when David Johnson gets you 9 points. You're throwing your TV through the window, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kiki re-injured the hamstring again.
Of course.
Says it's only mild. He wants to play next week. Can you play him, though?
No, you shouldn't.
Because he could blow up and have a great game, but he could also blow up his hamstring again and get pulled out.
The only pass catcher to me that's relevant is DeAndre Hopkins. I understand Demaryius Thomas got the 2 touchdowns, but he's going to get you, without those 2 touchdowns, 4 for 38. You're not happy about that.
7 points.
7.8.
Yeah.
In PPR.
Exactly.
In standard, it's 3.8. You're not happy about that.
All right, then we go to the Tennessee side of the ball. We talked about Mariota, who had a really good game.
Great game.
Actually had a better quarterback rating than good old
D-Watt?
D-Watt. His QBR is way lower, but I don't know how QBR works.
I don't care.
Rushing, they could not run the ball. Nobody on this team could run the ball. Honestly, I'm still sticking with my thing that Derrick Henry is a better running back than Deion Lewis.
I disagree.
You can disagree all you want, but he was better in this game when you watch the game.
Well, you can want in one hand and poop in the other.
Don't watch the game. I'm just like
I did. I watched the whole thing.
Deion Lewis did nothing with any of his runs.
Derrick Henry is a grind,
is,
and
but
hopes to break a big one.
This is a defensive team.
The offensive line is poor. They're poor. They don't.
So wear down the defensive lineman.
Yeah, well.
Run at J.J. Watt. You know, he's got like metal plates in his legs and stuff.
What about Corey Davis?
Yeah. 4 for 96 and a touchdown. The biggest problem with this is 4 targets. That's all you're going to give him.
He also had a long run, 39-yard run.
He did, but 4 targets. That's all you're giving Corey Davis.
That's all he needed.
He had to do a great game with that. But then Johnny Smith, 2 for 63 and a touchdown.
He broke a big one.
But literally after that touchdown, he was in witness protection.
He was in witness protection?
Couldn't find him.
I don't know where he's at. He's down in Florida somewhere.
I mean, they gave Luke Stalker a 4th down carry.
Dude, that was so bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Why
Even
would
Jason
you
Witten said, why don't you put Derrick Henry at the fullback spot?
Exactly. And I'm like, Jason Witten's an idiot, but he's right about this.
Put Derrick Henry and then Deion Lewis, and then they don't know what you're going to do.
When Jason Witten is telling you not to give a tight end a ball, that means it's stupid because he loves tight end. He talks about blocking schemes and dumb crap like that whenever he's announcing.
Yeah, they showed him blocking J.J. Watt or attempting to.
Yeah, he was really bad about that. But even I could see it, and even Jason Witten can see it. Like, why are you giving a tight end the ball on the goal line? It didn't make sense to me.
Yep.
But I don't get paid the money.
I concur.
I don't get paid the money to understand that. So, Jonnu Smith, do you like him or Delaney Walker?
Touched. What?
Do you like him or Delaney Walker next season?
I don't know how healthy Delaney Walker is going to be. You'll have to see it. They just don't use Jonnu Smith like they use Delaney Walker. I don't know if it's because he can't block or what.
I think he's the future.
He's the future. And we've talked about this a few times that most tight ends takes a couple years. Is Jonnu Smith's, second year?
Yeah.
In the league? So maybe a third year. Maybe he gets pass protection down a little better. Run blocking. Gets him out there a little bit more.
Okay.
But as of now, if Delaney Walker comes back, he'll be the guy.
Now, what I want to know is, are you ready for this Thursday night preview?
Yeah.
I'm super pumped.
There's so much on the line in this game. You realize that? Number one spot in the NFC East. Number 1 spot in the NFC is on the line.
There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped about it, dude. Now, what do you think is going to happen, though? Do you think Saints are going to win it?
Yes. I think the Saints are going to win it.
I do as well.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. If it was at New Orleans, I think it'd be a blowout.
You think them boys are going to come to play?
They have a good defense. Now, am I going to say it's going to stop the Saints offense? No.
That offense is firing on all cylinders. They're unbelievable right now.
I like the running backs in this game.
Okay, let's start from the Saints side of the ball.
So the over-under on this, hold on real quick, is 52.5, and the Saints are favored by almost 8 points.
I think that's low.
52.5?
I think it's low.
Well, Dallas wants to slow the game down so much.
I think it's low. They're not going to be able to.
But they're going to try to.
All right, so let's start with the Saints. Drew Brees, start or sit?
Everybody's off from a bye. He's on the road, but it's indoors. I'm still starting him.
Start. Great. That's what I agree with as well. Running backs, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram.
Alvin Kamara obviously is a start. Mark Ingram is the one I'm kind of questioning here. And I am worried that he may not get the touches that he's been getting when he's been good. So if you have a better option than Mark Ingram, I would probably look for it. But if you don't, I understand you starting him.
I 100% agree. Start Alvin Kamara and flex.
Cowboys
Mark
are really
Ingram.
good against running backs.
Flex Mark Ingram or sit him if you have a choice. Wide receivers, Michael Thomas.
You got to start Michael Thomas. So Traquan Smith has had a limited practice. We'll see if he's going to go. Cowboys are second best against wide receivers.
What about Tommy Lee Lewis?
No, I can't start. Any other Saints wide receiver?
Brandon Marshall.
I can't start any other Saints wide receivers.
Whenever 4 undrafted players get a touchdown and they're like, man, we can't really use you yet, that lets you know they don't need Brandon Marshall.
He's just there for emotional support.
He's just there to coach him up, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, so tight ends, Ben Watson. He's got a pulse. That's your thing.
Yeah, he's got a pulse, but not in the Thursday night game. I'm not rolling the dice on a Ben Watson touchdown. There's got to be something better out there for you.
Well, how are them boys against tight ends? Do you have that up?
I'm pulling it up right now. I just got to find it. They're actually relatively bad against tight ends.
So this could be a Ben Watson situation.
They give up 15 points, but they gave up a lot to Washington last week. And then Philadelphia, Zach Ertz got them. But Atlanta, Austin Hooper did nothing. Tennessee guys got a touchdown. Washington first game did nothing. They have a couple big games in here, but other than that, it's really middle of the road stuff.
Well, they're 6th worst against tight ends.
Yeah.
But they did hold Austin Hooper. I mean, obviously Zach Ertz burned them.
Yeah, but Zach Ertz the first time, or not Zach Ertz, let's see here. Yeah, there's really nothing. Carolina didn't do anything. Seattle didn't do anything.
Well, Carolina
Detroit didn't do anything. Houston, sort of, but it's all PPR numbers. Jacksonville did nothing. Washington the first time did nothing.
Okay.
So Ben Watson, with the fact that he's not the first 5 options there, don't like it.
What about Will Lutz?
He drives me nuts. He's a kicker, man. Go for it.
All right. Defense, Saints defense. You feel like starting them this week?
No.
I like the Saints defense this week.
Do you?
I do.
Dak's been playing well, though.
I understand that, but I like the Saints defense this week. I feel good about them. They're playing well. Ever since they got Eli Apple, they've turned it up a notch, and I feel good about the Saints defense. I do. I think you can start them. All right, let's move over to the Cowboy side of the ball. Dak. Streamer or legitimate QB1?
He's a streamer if you need to stream quarterbacks this week. There are some relatively not great matchups out there, like Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't been playing great, going against Arizona, who, except for Phillip Rivers, has been decent against the quarterback.
The Saints are 4th worst against quarterbacks.
Yeah, they give up a lot because they're up so much. Quarterbacks throw the ball a lot.
No, Carson Wentz, they did shut him down.
And they shut Matt Ryan down as well.
Well, Matt Ryan had a decent game.
It was decent. Okay, they shut him down. It was all garbage time. That's why I forgot.
They shut down Andy Dalton. Kirk Cousins had an okay game, not great. Obviously,
Baltimore had a good game against him.
Eli Manning. They shut down Baker early, or that wasn't Baker early in the year. That was Tyrod. But I don't know, man. I feel like Dak, he's played well the past couple weeks. I feel like he could be a good starter this week.
You can stream him if you don't have a better option out there. But I don't really want to.
You don't want to, or you don't? believe.
Well, we'll get into that here in a second.
What about
So Zeke? You're starting Zeke, right?
You're starting Zeke, but the problem is that the Saints are actually the third best team against running backs in the entire NFL.
But is that because they're up so much that the running back doesn't get work?
I think that's part of it.
Because when you look here, 12 carries, 10 carries, 13 carries, 13 carries. Then 19 for Minnesota, 16. And let's be honest, other than Saquon, who had a decent game against them, they haven't played. And Gurley had an okay game, pretty good game against him.
Latavius Murray had an okay game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like they haven't played like great running. It isn't like they've been going through.
You're starting Zeke no matter what.
Yes,
there's no question about that.
And Zeke's been getting passing down work too, so I want to see how they can cover that once Zeke gets in space.
The addition of Amari Cooper has helped immensely.
Okay,
Speaking of him,
Amari Cooper.
I think you got to start.
You have to start him.
They're the worst team against wide receivers.
So in our Dynasty League, I am starting Amari Cooper over Julian Edelman this week.
I don't think that's crazy to say. I don't at all. I think it's a great play. Yeah. I mean, he on the 90-yard touchdown, he got lucky because he broke away from the corner that was covering him and the safety, and he just ran away. And
he's fast.
He's very fast, but that was one of those plays that was just poor tackling. If they had tackled him, it would have been a 20-yard gain. No big deal. But the 40-yard touchdown, that was legit Amari Cooper.
Making dude fall down on a route and all that. Yeah.
He's a playmaker. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to be a great play this week. I could be wrong. I mean, they have 3 solid DBs from Ohio State over there in New Orleans. I don't know why they decided to go the old Ohio State route, but I feel confident in Amari Cooper. He's a playmaker, dude.
So you're definitely starting him over Allen Robinson?
Yes.
Over, let's see. I was trying to find one real quick, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. The Falcons play Baltimore, who's still a good matchup against them.
So I started him over Julio? No.
Okay. I wanted to see how crazy we could get here.
No, come on, dude. No, I would start him over Calvin Ridley, obviously.
What about AJ Green if he plays this week against Denver?
I would start him over AJ Green because I don't think he's that healthy.
Every Cardinals wide receiver there is imaginable?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
Sorry, buds. The Saints are bad against wide receivers, dude. Hooper? Well, actually, let's see. Are there any other wide receivers from Dallas you care about?
No. There'll probably be another one get a touchdown just because they're going to roll coverage of Amari after the game he had.
Okay. Now, surprisingly,
does that make you nervous about Amari, though? Because in Oakland, we've seen him have these huge games and then fall off.
No. I'm not worried about him.
Different team, different
This is a different team. They know how to use him.
Yeah. They force feed him the ball.
Yeah, there's other things that you have to worry about there. In Oakland, you didn't have to worry about the running game. You didn't have to worry about other receivers. It was just Amari.
So, Saints, you're going to bring it up. Tight ends?
Saints are second best against tight ends. I think this is a bad game for Hooper. It's a bad matchup for Hooper.
Hooper?
Yeah, Austin Hooper.
It's not Atlanta. Did they trade him to Dallas?
Oh, crap, dude. So, no. Oh, man, I don't know why I was thinking Atlanta for a minute. No, I think it's a bad game. Because I wouldn't start the Dallas tight ends anyway. But
yeah, Jeff Schwaim. They get work, but they're hurt. Jeff Schwaim was hurt last week, missed a game.
Yeah.
There was reports that Zeke's hip was sore, but he did practice and isn't on an injury report. Are you worried at all about that? Or do you think they don't care?
No,
they'll run him to the ground.
He was a full go today. That's what I read earlier from Roto World.
Yeah. And you know one thing that Dallas will run the running backs into the ground. They just do Marco Murray. They don't care. They will use you, abuse you, and send you off on your way.
Yep.
They did it to Des Bryant, wide receiver. Did it to Marco Murray, the running back.
R.I.P. Both of those guys are dead now, fantasy-wise.
One thing you know about Jerry, when he gets rid of a player, they're done.
That's true. He uses them up, and then they move on with their life. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, Jeff Maher.
Do you want to pick a fantasy MVP? We didn't do it last week. Me and Pat forgot. Do you want to pick a fantasy MVP for Thursday night?
You guys are scrubs.
I know.
My fantasy MVP, I'm not going to pick Zeke because I know that's the one that you want to pick.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's the home running back.
Is it?
Yeah.
It only worked for me once.
I'm going to go.
And it was Nick. It was Carlos Hyde. You realize that?
I'm going to go Kamara.
Ooh.
I like Kamara.
Kamara.
I also own him in Dynasty, so that's part of it.
I'm going crazy here. I'm going Dak Prescott.
I think it's a good play. I think it's a good play.
I know. You talking me into it. Dak Prescott, fantasy MVP. He's going to outperform Drew Brees.
Doing a pie bet on it?
No.
Yeah, that's going to be okay. By the way, to give you guys an update on the pie bets, Pat lost our pie bet. Initially, they tried to give me Aaron Jones. I was in the middle of Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Was it good?
The first one was better, to be honest with you.
Didn't live up to expectations. You were a little higher on it?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed.
That's what happens with sequels.
So they were like, Aaron Jones, and I texted back. I was like, no, Melvin Gordon. They're like, nah, he's off the board. Which you should have just let me take him. But then anyway,
but then you would have been like, injuries.
So I was like, Leonard Fournette, and it worked out. I had the second best. Pat lost with his running back of choice, Joe Mixon. And then me and you made a side bet. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson would score more points than Ryan Tannehill this week.
I was just defending Tannehill's honor because you were just bad-mouthing him so much.
Well, he's
when
garbage.
He had a good game.
He's garbage.
He had a good, streamable quarterback game.
He's doo-doo. So anyway, Ryan Tannehill lost. So now Brad and Pat will get
on Thursday.
pied.
We'll be getting pied.
And then we'll make our new bets for next week. So we're always nervous about it. But as long as the pies are great, and they've been tasting pretty good.
So delicious.
They're not bad. I feel good about it.
All right, so one last thing before we close up the show. Waivers probably will clear by the time you hear this. Any people you're out there looking for that may have went through waivers or cleared waivers or stuff that you want to pick up for this week?
Gus Edwards. I still like him. If Austin Eckler's out there, you have to go grab him, obviously. I don't... So
Any guys you're dropping, completely done with? Golden Tate, we done with him?
I'm done with Golden Tate. You can hold on to him if you want
Cortland
to.
Sutton, do you win?
In redraft, yeah, I'm done with
John Brown. I already said I was done with him, but you weren't here to say.
Yeah, I'm done with him as well.
Okay, so these guys you can drop if you need to pick somebody up. Defenses you're looking at this week, anybody crazy? Because there's some weird defensive matchups.
The Cardinals have been on the upcoming.
Except for last week.
Yeah, but I'm telling you guys, this Saints defense, they're legit.
Would you play them this week against Dallas? You said
yes,
you would play
100%. I'm going to play him in one of our leagues.
But you love Dak this week, so it's kind of...
No, but I believe in the Saints defense.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, I think they're way better than what they were early in the year.
Yeah, they've gotten better over time. They made that trade for Eli Apple. He's not their corners aren't great, but they
disguise their corners well.
They got
their corner. And it helps when you're up by 3 touchdowns and you know the team's throwing the ball.
And they have Cameron Jordan. Not Jordan Cameron.
Yeah. Inside jokes. Hope to be part of one someday.
Love you, Olivers. Yeah, I know you're not listening, but I still love you.
All right, and let's go ahead and try to figure this thing out. And Pat, I hope you feel the spirit of Christmas in your house.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Those decorations better be dope. All right, hit us up on Twitter, MTWagonFF, at Tack Jones, at Josh Hughes, FF Josh Hughes, at HattrickPat37. We're here to answer all your fantasy questions. We love you guys. We thank you for your support. I know the shows get more downloads when I'm involved, and that's just not...
Humble brag.
That's facts. That's facts. I've looked it up. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends, tell everyone about us. We love you guys. We're thankful for you, and we hope that you have a great week in fantasy. Good luck on that playoff push, and always, always ask us if you need us. All right.
Later.